Hey guys, and welcome to yet another Star Sale video. In this video, as was promised, well actually I just want to give you all a little update on the other videos I'm going. The video I promised last time, which was the horses sales videos. I'm working on it and it will be out very shortly. I've actually filmed two versions but didn't like either one, so scrapped them both. Anyway, yeah, let's get... So in this video, I'm going to be trying out a couple horses. I'm looking for a new eventing horse, a horse prospect, eventing horse prospect. I don't want a horse fully trained, as I feel like I work better with horses that are slightly untrained, so we can bond together over the training. Anyway, yeah, so let's get into it. Anywho, this is the first horse. So I'm actually in Dundle right now, and it is snowing as it's getting rather close to winter. But anyway, this is Icicle, a 15.2 North Swedish gelding. And he's super sweet, has the greatest disposition, and great personality, seems willing to learn. Sorry, there's something in my throat. And he is a 8-year-old, so he's rather young. And he still is rather spooky, but I'm willing to work through that. I would have preferred a taller horse so we could jump higher, but if he can, his dad said he could jump 3 feet, and he's only 8, so I'm looking forward to seeing how high he could go in his older years if I do get him. But anyway, I'm only doing cross country with him today, just to see how he goes, and the reason is because Dundle does have a paddock, but the owners didn't want him going to there because he's only been in there once or twice, as he just moved to Dundle a week ago. And so he's rather spooky there, and they didn't want me to get hurt, and they wanted me to have the best time with him. So I'm just taking him out on the trail, practicing his cross-country jumps. His trot his head is very high. He doesn't seem like a good dressage horse. However, I'm willing to teach him dressage if need be. I'm looking more into the jumping portion. His canter, he kind of got really on the front end, and his head lowered, which wasn't bad. And then his hand gout, his faster canter, was slightly bouncy. By slightly, I mean really bouncy. You can see it's very jerky. But, however, we did come up on a horse up here. He did just fine with it. Passed by, didn't even flinch. He seemed to really want to please you, which was super nice. Naturally what I was looking for. However, I was looking for a horse with good gaits, and as you can see, this is not. His gaits were great. Well, not great, but they weren't the worst. But however, this is just a really jerky motion, and it wasn't the best. However, I was able to put him over a few jumps, as you'll see in a minute. And his jumps, I don't want to say weird, but I wouldn't say... He won't be in any hunter ranks anytime soon with his gaits and his jump. And here's the first thing we jumped. It's on the downhill, so I was excited to see how he did with that. He kind of picks his head up as he jumps, as you can see. He throws himself over that jump, and you have to pull him back. But he'd jump anything I put in front of him, and he would canter it. He picked up his feet nicely. And here I just decided to ride into these trees and see how well he did on his turns. And then we rode down to this little cottage. He did fine with it. And then I decided to see how well he did crossing water. Literally. And so as we were approaching the water, his ears seemed to go forward as he heard the water. It's a river-ish pond. Don't know what to call it. and he kind of stopped beforehand. I slammed getting a look at it. He sniffed it, and then I asked him to walk over it, and he did. One of the wood creaks, so he bolted, and I pulled him back to the trot, and he complied. I waited for him to calm down again, and then I decided I'd let him gallop, and so I let him have his head. His gallop's nice and smooth. I pulled him back for the cobblestone road because I didn't want to get his feet hurt. But anyway, he was a super sweet horse. I liked him very much, minus gaits. I just don't think he's, for me, as he isn't what I was quite looking for. I was looking for a horse that I could take far in the competition rings. He would be more of a pleasure horse, as he is quite mellow once you get all of his bucks, and once he would be bomb-proofed and overall. But he's a very sweet horse. I had a great time with him. And yeah. So, I look forward to seeing if I do get him. I would try to work on his gaits, his jumping, and basically all of that stuff. However, his demeanor and sweetness, I loved. He just wanted to please you. So yeah, Icicle. Okay, this next horse is actually okay, hang on. I need to fix my drone. Okay, the drone's fixed, and we're all good. Anyway, this is Cloud. He is a 16.2 hand height Dutch warm blood 5-year-old stallion, and I am in Firgrove trying him, and yes, it is rather late night, but anyway, he's super sweet. I tacked him up, and he didn't mind it at all. His walk was super forward, which I loved, and I'm going to be trying to run across. I'm doing flat work with him, just all of it. As you can see, it went on the bit really nicely. He's being a 5-year-old, he's only shown a couple of times, where Icicle's shown quite a lot more. But I believe he could go really far in the show ring and dressage. And when you see his jump in show jumping and cross country too, is he jumps anything you put in front of him. He bends really nicely, picks up his leads. His canter's super forward, and I tested the pressure I needed on him, and he did really well. But anyway, I'll be jumping these 1.5 meter hay bales that the owner set up for me on him, and so he didn't rush it at all, stayed level-headed, and I was able to keep him in control. There we kind of messed up, but I trotted him over it, and he did perfectly fine. I did a quick circle, and we did it again. So then I realized he needed more leg. I gave it to him, and he did perfectly. He did it perfect. And there I gave him more leg, and let him take his head over it. He did really well. And then I went over the hay bale where we messed up last time. He jumped as if it wasn't even there. And even when we jumped, the weirdest things. There were sheep in there, didn't even blink. And he was fine jumping both ways, turning mid. His turns were super tight. All his gaits were wonderful. He was really fun. I had a great time riding him. And overall, he was just like a great horse. He was super sweet. The owners eventually allowed me to trot him out of their tiny farm area where the hay bales are set up and go on one of Firgrove's cross-country tracks. And I, of course, said yes. I just galloped him along the edge of the fence here just to get his steam out and get him more he didn't need to be calm, or he wasn't spooky at all. I just wanted to see how he did galloping, and then we started cross country, and he did really well. He did whatever I asked, was fine with super tight turns and jumping and not knowing what he was jumping onto. He was great with jumping different things. And overall, I really liked him. If I were to buy him, I would want to focus more on the height he was jumping. And yeah, but he was just a great horse. I was really happy as I rode him. And yeah, he was one of my favorites of all the ones I rode. But anyway, yeah, this is Cloud. And on to the next horse. Okay. So, this next horse is a 15.3 anti-American quarter horse gelding named Hank. And he is 7 years old, has competed, and doesn't jump very high. However, he can. He'll jump anything you put in front of him. And it's a great dressage horse, apparently. So yeah, let's see. So, I didn't show you all the warming up, but then I just started jumping him. His canter jump was rather weird. He was more of, you could tell he was really trained in Western, and has just been thrown into the jumping. However, he did really well. He was super soft on the bit. However, he seemed to throw his head when he was jumping quite a lot. Now, I'm saying that's bad. It's just not what I was looking for. You could tell he would enjoy Western, and I'm not a Western rider. But his turns were super tight, and he really did jump anything I put in front of him, which is a sweet horse. However, he wasn't really an English horse, and I could see him being more of a Western horse, but his owners were selling him as English, but I just really don't see him being an English horse, so therefore, I'm almost certain I won't be getting him. However, he was super nice, super chill, a great horse, be a great beginner's horse. His head was super down, you couldn't really get him to raise it up or go on the bit. And apparently he knew how to do one of those tight circles, pivots. I don't know the Western term for it, and he also knew how to do a slide and stop. So just for the fun of it, I did used to ride Western. I've ridden Western a couple times, and my friends have taught me how to ask for those things. So I just quickly asked for a slide and stop, and you could tell he did amazingly. I gave him a nice pat, let him rub his face on his leg. We're asking him for a pivot, and he did really well at that. And then got right back up again and galloped away. I galloped to jump with him as I wanted to see how he did. Super sweet. Kind of jumped over the side of that there. But even when I galloped him, he didn't get long. He didn't try speeding up. He just maintained that steady pace. However, I'm pretty sure I won't be getting him. But anyway, yeah, this is Hank. Beautiful horse. Okay, so I'm going to need to make part 2, as it's taken quite a long time to film this, and I really need to make part 2 because I have too much video to post. But anyway, yeah, so all the 3 horses I tried, I'll be trying 5, 2 more in the next video, which will be posted sometime soon, maybe tomorrow. I really enjoyed Cloud the most, followed by Icicle, and then Hank. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for this many subscribers. Never thought I'd get here. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Bye.